We're back, SFA News Live. Now with me is an old friend, not us being old, but
longtime friend.
Longtime friend. When Joan and I first met, it was just when you had been in People magazine and they covered you in chocolate.
I was dipped.
You were dipped in chocolate. I don't know anybody else who's ever done that. And I always think of you as the chocolate aficionado, the chocolate expert. And I want to talk a little bit about chocolate, but I want to talk more about snacks. But I got to tell you something. I've been coming to the show for a long time. I used to see, maybe because the show's gotten bigger, a lot more different varieties of chocolate. Is what happened to all the chocolate? What's going on here?
Well, it's very interesting. Everything is a snack. So Hershey is a snack company.
Right.
Chocolate, I mean, it's fascinating to me because as clients have taken me with them in my innovation expert role, I have gone to work with many, many snack companies. And there is this blurring of the lines between sweet and savory.
Absolutely.
And chocolate is now in snacks. So there's chocolate jerky. You know, there's
someone
trail mix
upstairs today came over to me after a retailer panel that has chocolate covered bacon.
Right, of course.
Individual pieces of bacon that are chocolate covered.
Right.
I'd never seen that.
Right. And so chocolate is incorporated as an ingredient, if you will, because of its popularity in so much. There's a jerky trail mix. It's got chocolate in it. There are just so many things that have chocolate. So within the chocolate category, what's happened is I divide that world into three types of consumers. There are the purists, and those go 70% or more for me, and I choose 100.
Yeah, exactly.
And they just want the pure chocolate bars. They can tell the nuances between the origins. They're very committed to purists. There are the adventurers that will taste that chocolate-covered bacon and love it.
Yeah.
And then there are the traditionalists who want the comforting classics.
Yeah.
And I have now seen, if you look at what's going on in snacking, it's basically fuel to treat. The same, interestingly, on some of the fringe chocolate categories in that adventure world, they're using chocolate as a carrier for botanicals, for herbs like elements, truffles, and stuff. So it's very interesting. There's a lot of give back. I think there's a lot of connecting full circle to the farmer. Mm-hmm. So it's not just farm to table, it's farmer to bar.
Sure. And the whole fair trade movement and all of that.
I think it's interesting. Companies are much like Whole Foods and Starbucks. They're coming up with their own label too. They're coming.
And is that just so that they have something proprietary, or it's something that they don't have to pay extra for?
Yes.
Both. Okay.
I mean, it is. It's exclusive to them, so they become known for something. And it's also, there are more people going into this bean-to-bar craft movement, some thinking it's much easier than it really is. And the FCIA, the Fine Chocolate Industry Association, had their big meeting, and it was more well attended than it ever has been in their history. And they're dividing now each of the groups into manufacturers. They're the big guys who are often our mentors, and then they're the startups that are doing it in an apartment and trying to figure it out.
Let's talk about the big guys for a second. The announcement just a couple days ago that Ferrero, maker of Nutella and Rocher and so on, buying Nestle confectionery. The Nestle Crunch Bar that I grew up with is now, owned by Ferrero.
Right?
Butterfinger. What do you make of all that? I mean, Nestle divesting some of the best known brands. It's got to be more than just about money. And Ferrero, this great little Italian company, buying it, from your purview and looking at this world, what should we make of this?
I think there's a lot of consolidation, there's a lot of acquisition, and the larger companies definitely have clout with the buyers at front end. So, for Ferrero, they have, certainly Rocher is an incredible example of having gone specialty to mass extremely successfully and maintained a premium positioning. Mm-hmm. Nestle is mostly a mass player,
absolutely,
not premium, so it gives them a big foothold there. Hershey and Mars kind of own, that chocolate world in many ways in terms of top sellers. So I think it's going to give Nestle, a little bit bigger chance to do that. I was surprised, really, now that I can say this in retrospect, that Nestle didn't take over that healthy, whole, good for you. Because look at their health halo of Nestle, the company, and the water. And why doesn't Swiss Miss become the Swiss drink hot chocolate? I'm just surprised that it seems that their other business units were more well developed. The candies had a great brand and great brand presence, and I think they did wonderful things. But like Skinny Cow, and they have some great brands. But I think the emphasis wasn't always on those candies.
And to your point, and I hadn't thought about it that way, but both in Vevey, Switzerland, and in Asia, Nestle has, and I'm going to get the name wrong, but it's Healthy Culinary Innovation Centers.
Right? Yes.
That they're doing all this healthy food that gets translated to their frozen meals or to their other business units. But you're right. I mean, why not have used that?
And they could have really been ahead of the game, right? Because that's where everybody is.
Yeah.
Look at where, which is a fascinating thing. If I were Ferrero, what I would take a look at is how do you remake these traditional favorites in a bit better for you way. Maybe it's non-GMO corn syrup. Any ingredient can be non-GMO. It's cost. It comes down to cost and flavor. It's interesting as snacks, certainly like chocolate, we say that we want better for us. But at 91% want taste. That is what people want.
It's got to be that blend of taste and health.
Absolutely.
So as you walk down these aisles, what have you seen that's excited you? I know you brought me something that's kind of cool.
The only non-edible, I ate all the edibles on the way coming to see you. I have to say, cookies, I have never seen more cookies.
Really?
Ever.
Okay.
I personally consumed about 16 cookie types today, and there are crunchy, it's the crunchy, the crispy light, there's the soft baked, Dewey's has cinnamon buns. There's Sejoyas, which are cocoa thins. It's coconut and cassava and what else? Cashews. There's only 5 ingredients. It's fascinating. One company said they're using Cookie is using cookies like taco meat. So what they're doing is they're crumbling cookies. They're saying, come eat our taco. And I'm thinking they bent the cookie, but they're actually crumbling it into yogurt. And then they're creating little taco filling, sweet taco. So I look at cookies as, on an overarching trend basis, is mirroring ice cream. We've got, the halo top. We have all those sort of protein boosted and healthy and pro-yo and those kind of things. And then you've got the super premium indulgent. And I think that's what people are today.
And that's where we're going to go with cookies.
That's where we're going with cookies. I think that cookie category has something for everyone. So coconut, not slowing down everywhere.
Yep.
Everywhere from coconut sugar to, there are cocoa thins, which are toffees and caramels, but all, coconut sugar and coconut. It's interesting. Everything is a snack. Yeah. Bone broth is a snack. Drinking vinegar is a snack. We've become...
Bone broth is not a snack food.
Salted caramel, also not slowing down.
Right.
Energy bars coming out with salted caramel flavors so that they can cross that bridge of, I want sweet but. And the last thing I'd say is the sweet, on the other hand, because there's always a trend, counter trend, is going savory. So banana, all those Nana chips, et cetera, are now coming out with savory. Remember those glazed banana chips we used to eat? They're savory now. And the shroom, the mushroom chips. So there's a real mixing between super hot, and I'd say jalapeno this year versus sriracha. I've definitely seen a lot of jalapeno. Yeah. A blending of favorite flavors together, whether it's a cheddar ranch or barbecue 2.0, so it's Korean barbecue and it's backyard barbecue, and it's all different types of barbecue flavors. And then I think in chocolate, I would say forms. like you've got Alter Eco came out with the clusters, and you have, there are different ways to enjoy your chocolate beyond the bars.
But talking about chocolate and forms, we have to get People Magazine to dip you back in chocolate.
So did I tell you? So do you want to know what they had to do for 6 hours so I wouldn't crack?
Yeah.
Because I wasn't tempered, clearly.
Right.
They sat there with a paintbrush and a hairdryer. So they would paint and then they'd dry it. 65 pounds of chocolate. It was fun.
And you look great.
I'm ready to do it again.
That's it for SFA Live for now, but we're going to be back in just about 2 minutes with a lot more, so stay tuned. We are at Moscone Center in San Francisco with now close to 20,000 people in Moscone Center, tasting upwards of probably 160,000 different foods. Stay tuned. We'll be right back with more.